Another way to make your photos stand out is the masking tool. So at the masking tool, you come here, you have many different options for creating a mask. So the first one is the subject mask. So let's just try that. And in this image, right, it could not find a subject that it could detect. So there is no obvious person or animal or car or anything else that might be a subject of an image here. So the AI could not find anything. So the sky, we should probably get better results for that. You can see the reddish area that's highlighted here is masked now. And if you go to the corner here, you should be able to see the mask. And you can see the white area is the area that will be affected by this edit. And when you have a mask you will selected, you'll see that there's a whole new menu of edit options that resemble some parts of the editing features in the standard like basic editor here. And so if you come here, you'll get some basics edits, some color edits, you get the effects, and which are the presence edits in the basic menu. And then if you come back down to this is the basic menu from over here. It just gets pushed down below this menu, just like all the other tools that you have at the top here. They work the same way. So let's say if we select the sky here, we could do some stuff that just applies to the sky. So if we take out the saturation, we can make the sky all white, right? Or we can make it very, very blue, right? So you can see that it's affecting only the sky area of the photo. And then, yeah, you can make specific highlights or exposure edits. So let's say I think the sky is too dark, right? I can make it brighter. Or if I think it's too bright, I can make it darker because I want it to contrast with the white in the foreground. Let's do something like that. I think that looks pretty good. So you see that we have a little bit of more contrast between the sky and the foreground now. So that's one way you can edit the sky. Obviously, there's a lot of other options here, but I'm not convinced any of these options are really going to help us with this particular sky. If you had more details in the clouds, the texture and clarity may actually, potentially even the dehaze could help you either to add or make the detail to contrast to the photo or make it look, give it a more dreamy look. So let's say we want to add another mask here. So there's the select background. So this is should be basically the inverse of the subject selection. So I'm assuming it won't detect anything in the background, which is exactly what it does. So just know that like you can select subjects or backgrounds if there's very clear things. It can also select people. It's really good about finding the shape of people there and doing a reasonably good job of selecting them, and then you can edit them independently of the background. So if we come down here, we can go to objects. So let's say I want to select an object and I select this area here. It finds the paraglider there, right? And so now maybe I just want to brighten that up a little bit to make it stand out. And then I really like how that turned out. So let's do another object selection on the other one over here. And that did not do as good of a job of selecting the subject. So let's try again. Where is it? Objects. Make this big here. Let's see what it does. There we go. I think I selected brush last time. That's why it gave me the wrong result. So we can brighten this a little bit. And you can see that how much more they stand out now. I think we may have lost some detail though here. Let's see. Let's check. Probably a little bit. But if we zoom in, let's see if we can make it so that it's brighter, but it doesn't lose some of the relevant details. We do that and make it brighter. Actually, we have to select the mask first. And then make it brighter. If we darken the blacks and the shadows, we should be able to, yeah, there we go, keep the same amount of detail. Well, even see, you can see the paraglider now has color. So he's probably wearing a red jacket, it looks like, or something like that. So you can add like focus areas in the photo. So now if we look at the photo, the paragliders stand out more, the sky is darker, right? And now we can even add more masks in that. So if you want to select some area with a brush, so let's say I really don't like the bluish saturation in these shadows here. So I'm going to color in that area there and see what we can do about the bluish nature of those shadows. So if we come here, we probably can fix these in a number of different ways. One is to just adjust the temperature just a touch. We could also take a stab at it by just reducing the saturation. If we do that, that may or may not have a good effect, and it may or may not not look good with the rest of the image. But you can see that we could easily mask this area of the photo and change a specific aspect of it that we may not have necessarily liked. So I think that might be a bit much. So let's go here. And then we can also add different types of masks on here. In addition to the brush, we can add a radial gradient, which is like if we wanted to make a big white bright spot in the middle of the image here, we could just do that, right? And then you can do edits similar to this in here, right? We could try some weird thing. Maybe if we put this in the corner here and we pretend this is the sun and we want to change the lighting of this image. So say the sun is obviously to the right side of the image, here shining down. What if we want it to be shining from the left side? So let's try and see what we can do with the linear gradient here. So a linear gradient, if we want light shining from the right side of the image, right, or left side instead of the right, we need to put a big gradient here, and we need to probably drop down the entire lighting there a little bit, maybe drop down the highlights good amount, maybe some of the white. So we don't want to make it completely dark. We know that we can't change all the shadows here, but we can definitely change the effect of the light. So if we add another linear gradient here, say like this, into the image, and we do the opposite of what we done on the other side, we brighten it, and then we increase the highlights. Let's see if we like where that is. Maybe like this, you can see that like we've really drastically changed the lighting in this photo, right? So the lighting was all focused on the right side of the image. Now the focus is on the left side of the image. Even the sky is having a gradient of light from the left side here. So we've effectively added a fake sun in there and changed the direction that the lighting apparently comes from in the image. Obviously these shadows in here, if you look really closely, will give away that we were messing with the lighting in the image. But like in some images there may not be shadows, and you can easily change the direction and location of the lighting in the image just by using these particular masks. So there are a few other type of masks that you can create. So there's the color range mask. So if I want to mask only this area of the sky or something, then you can see here it gives instructions on how to use the tool. You can refine the mask, right? So you can see the mask is stronger on the right side and also selected part of the foreground. So it saw the sky in the foreground, right? This is still a little bit too blue. Probably the editing mask I did before was not strong enough on it to remove the color. But you can basically select these colors and do color range specific masks and do edits on those colors. I don't particularly think color masking would be super useful in this image, so we won't do any of that. But then the last thing we can do is a luminance mask. So basically this takes some amount of the brightest parts or darkest parts or somewhere in between of the image, and then you can edit just those. So let's say we want to edit just the brightest areas of the photo, something like this, right? Like I could just change the, we can even change, you could do change any part of it, right? I can make it like bluish, which wouldn't make any sense, but you can see that that's just masking the brightest areas of the photo and changing just specific settings on it. So if I want to make the brights brighter, I could do that. If I'm going to make them darker, obviously that's not producing a good effect, so we don't want to do that. But yeah, you can see how a luminance mask might be useful, right? And you can drag, you can select the midtones. You can see them as I slide it around that the mask shifts throughout the image. And that's how the luminance masking would work. So yeah, if we want to make this is not the brightest thing here. There we go. So if we do that, we have a very unrealistic looking sun that we've added to this, and we switched the entire lighting of the image just using these masks.